Hey, do you remember the movies The Finest Hours and Queen of Catway? Neither do I. Jokes aside, this was actually a really good year for Disney in terms of their movies. Pixar gave us Finding Dory, Disney Animation gave us Zootopia, a surprisingly really good movie, and they also gave us Moana, which was still pretty good. Yeah. The live action remakes gave us The Jungle Book, probably the best live action remake. And it was also Pete's Dragon, which was so different from the original that was pretty much its own unique thing completely. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was pretty good. Live action movies in general gave us the BFG, which was a perfectly fine kids flick. And the Marvel movies gave us Civil War, which is a fantastical. And there was Doctor Strange, which I think is a fun film. It was pretty much just showing off about like how cliche the Marvel movies have kind of gotten, but it's still a fun film. The only films that came out this year that didn't really do so hot critically were Alice Through the Looking Glass, which I haven't seen, but I've heard that it's trash, and I didn't really want to watch it for this video. And Rogue One, a film that I have seen, and the ending was cool, I will admit, but most of it is just a boring blandness, and we know that the characters are gonna get the plans to the Death Star eventually, so, we know what's gonna happen at the end, so, why should we care? Oh, and also, this was the same year that Gravity Falls ended, and it was a really emotional ending, and I love the ending. It flat out made me... Okay, 2017. I didn't see Pirates in the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tale, and I didn't see Cars 3. But I heard they're both... Alright, Beauty and the Beast. Oh, God, did that suck. Coco! That was actually a really good movie. Really great. And the Marvel movies. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Fantastico. Better than the first. Spider-Man Homecoming isn't technically a Disney film, but since it is a Marvel film, I loved it. It was great. And Thor Ragnarok. Easily the best Thor movie in my opinion. Now, what else came out? Hey, Thomas, didn't The Last Jedi come out in 2017? I have some strong opinions about that film. Shut up! Look, I enjoy The Last Jedi. I really do. I think it's the best film in the sequel trilogy. I must admit, it has some flaws, like all movies do. But, dear Lord, I am sick and tired of people complaining about the film and constantly bringing it up. Like other Star Wars movies, other Disney movies, even J.J. Abrams movies. He didn't even direct this film, you guys. Like people bring up the Star Wars prequels. Still better than The Last Jedi. People bring up, the live-action Disney remakes. Still better than The Last Jedi. People bring up any of, the Star Trek movies by J.J. Abrams, or Cloverfield, or Super 8. Still better than The Last Jedi! Ah! To be fair, the only J.J. Abrams films that I've seen were Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, and his first Star Trek movie. But, dear Lord, would we please just stop doing this whole complaint about the whole Last Jedi crap? If you didn't like the movie, fine, good for you. But would you please just stop complaining all the time, constantly bringing it up and anything remotely Star Wars related? And I do not want to hear any opinions on The Last Jedi in the comments at all. None. Can we all please just go ahead and start to complain about Rise of Skywalker? Because That film was worse than Last Jedi. Keep in mind, I enjoy Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker, we'll get to later. But dear God, stop it with the whole Last Jedi crap. And now let's move on to 2018. But of course, the biggest Disney-related thing to happen in 2017 was the acquisition of 20th Century Fox. And since Disney acquired Fox, which means that they owned the rights to Avatar, Family Guy, Die Hard, Home Alone, The Orville, The Sound of Music, Bob's Burgers, the entirety of Blue Sky Animation Studios, the Alien franchise, How I Met Your Mother, Mrs. Doubtfire, the Planet of the Apes franchise, and The Simpsons. Oh, and they also own the film rights to the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and that was the only thing that people gave a crap when this whole thing happened back in 2017. Not the fact that Disney owns all of this stuff, but the fact that the X-Men and the Fantastic Four could appear in the MCU. Wow. Speaking out of character for a moment, I've done an entire video for 2018. Well, actually, 4 videos, but I'm a bit congested right now, so yeah. So, we're renovating the house. Also, the reason why I did it for 2018 was because of all the movies I missed the chance to make videos on. Like I missed my chance to talk about Christopher Robin and Mary Poppins Returns and Ralph Breaks the Internet and Bohemian Rhapsody. And I also didn't talk about Black Panther at all for some reason. That's the reason why I did it for last year. So, yeah. However, this year, since it's the end of the decade, that's also why I did it. So yeah, I'll return you to your regularly scheduled Disneydude. And finally, we have 2019, the most unoriginal year in Disney history. We had sequels to some of the most successful animated movies of all time, such as Toy Story 4 and Frozen 2. And just recently, Frozen 2 was made more money than the original film. So I guess to say that a Frozen 3 is in the near future. This was also the year where Disney gave us 5 live-action remakes! Dumbo, Aladdin, The Lion King, which is actually an animated movie in my opinion, but shut up. Maleficent, Mistress of All Evil, which is the only movie that came out last year that I didn't watch. Well, with the exception of pretty much all of the Fox movies. And Lady and the Tramp, which apparently Disney didn't think was good enough for theaters and just dumped it on their streaming service, which we will talk about later. So the Marvel movies gave us Captain Marvel, which was alright, Endgame, which was a bit of a slow 2 hours, but a freaking amazing third hour, which it also became the highest grossing movie, so hey, good for them. And of course, there was Far From Home, which was a bit of a fun film. Oh, and also, Disney and Sony had a bit of a titty fit on whether or not Spider-Man should be in the MCU for about a month. Ain't that just swell? There were also some Fox movies that came out that I didn't watch, such as Dark Phoenix, Alita Battle Angel, Stuber, Spies in Disguise, and Jojo Rabbit, which has actually gained some Oscar buzz, so good for them. And, of course, the third installment of the Star Wars sequel trilogy came out Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. And for the first time in forever, Star Wars fans can finally get together again and celebrate on how disappointing it was. And of course, there's Disney's new streaming service, Disney Plus. I'm not going to get into the details of this service, since I do plan to make a future episode all about it, but for now, let me just say it's a good service, and I like a lot of the shows such as Mandalorian, The Imagineering Story, and The World According to Jeff Goldblum. And that, my friends, was Disney's 2010 decade. Was it a good decade for the Mouse House? I could say so. Financially, shoosh, yeah, it was great for them. The 2000s was a terrible time for the company. Like, pretty much every movie that wasn't Pirates of the Caribbean or Pixar was just for the mouse. But then came 2009 when, then 2010 came. I was about to mention, 2009, but Princess and the Frog didn't do so well financially. It was a good movie, but it didn't do so well financially. Then came 2010, where Tangled was a big hit. And, sure, Toy Story 3 made over $1 billion, but Disney Animation finally had a big old success after so many years. And I'm pretty sure the last big success Disney Animation had was Lilo and Stitch in 2002. And pretty much afterwards, there were just loads of other movies, not just from Disney Animation, to get. A lot of them earned over $1 billion. Pretty much all the Avengers movies, Aladdin, Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, a good chunk of the Marvel movies, like Finding Dory, Incredibles 2, just so many movies that did so well, and they were all so good. So, and I guess that Disney Plus was a good way to end the decade, just saying, look at how far we've grown from the start of the decade all the way up to the end of the decade. Although I will have to admit, the buyout of Maker was freaking stupid. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go die. I'll see you later. Bye!